I'm Motley Fool Canada senior analyst Nick Seipel, and this is the 5 Minute Major, here to make you a smarter investor in about 5 minutes. Today, we're discussing Netflix's 10-year, $5 billion US deal with the WWE and what it means for investors. My guest today is Jim Gillies, lead advisor for Motley Fool Canada's Hidden Gems Canada service. Jim, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for the invite, Nick.
Great to be here with you, Jim. Beginning in 2025, Netflix will begin airing live licensed sports content for the first time when it begins airing WWE Raw in the US, Canada, and Latin America, among other territories. This is big news for Netflix. What does it mean for Netflix and the media industry at large?
Well, I love how you say sports content here. Yes, because this is professional wrestling, of course, but it is a live event every week. Raw is live on Monday nights from 8 to 11. This is, I think, fairly transformative. We were expecting the Raw rights to be renegotiated within this year. We were expecting a big uptick in the annual fee, which we got. Approximately $500 million a year, up from about $200 million a year is what the present rights deal is estimated to air on the Peacock network and along with Comcast-owned NBC, the NBC USA network. This is transforming because they are abandoning cable, which made the WWE, made their audience. They are abandoning cable for streaming. I think this is pretty seismic. And they're also, yeah, I mean, you could say it's tied to the NBC owned Peacock network, but I mean, really, Netflix, the breadth of their offering just, completely overwhelms the Peacock thing. So I think this is fantastic for both Netflix and for WWE, which of course is now part of the greater TKO empire.
Yeah, so let's get to the TKO Group, the parent company of the WWE and the UFC. That's a stock that surged over 15% following the Netflix announcement. How does this deal impact TKO's business?
Well, the obvious one is what I've already said, right? You're going to get $500 million a year instead of $200 million a year. And my quick math says that's better. Um, but it also sets up for, maybe some additional long-term benefit for both parties. And that's, of course, our favorite type of deal, the win-win. First off, there are a couple of options built into this deal. One is for Netflix to take on a 10-year extension option at the end. And you and I had this conversation yesterday. I suspect that option is not going to be at $500 million a year. We don't know what the price is, but negotiation 101 should say there should be some escalator in that for both parties if you've had a successful 10-year deal. There is also a possibility for Netflix to opt out after 5 years. That obviously would suggest that things have gone quite poorly. However, there's now going to be broader exposure to the premium live events, what we used to call pay-per-views, where we pay $50 and watch a 4-hour show. Those are all now part of the deal. It's increasingly going to be taking this international, market. All markets aside from, North America are, deemed international here. This is something that the WWE has been craving as they've gone into limited places. They have deals in Saudi Arabia. They occasionally would do shows in the UK, occasionally in India. This is going to take it up a notch, I think, as well. And then don't look now, but the UFC television rights, I believe, are coming up at the end of 2025, which suggests they're probably going to be renegotiated as well about a year, 6 to 12 months ahead of time. They're going to have a new deal. And boy, isn't it interesting that Netflix now has put a stake in the ground for the very popular UFC? And what are other streaming services? I'm not sure that UFC is the kind of thing that maybe the Disney Channel would be looking for. But if you're Prime, Amazon's Prime, if you're Apple TV Plus, if heck, if you are Peacock and maybe you're stung a little bit by losing to Netflix, I think that you just made the value of those UFC renegotiated rights. I think you just kicked those up a notch as well. So I think this is excellent.
All right, Jim, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the 5 Minute Major. We will see you next time.
Thank you.